Hey, it's Eric. Today we're diving into a really powerful idea from Stanford professor Joe Boaler's book, Limitless Mind. What if I told you that the secret to unlocking your real potential isn't about being born with some special talent? What if it's actually all about making mistakes? It sounds wrong, I know, but stick with me.
So let me ask you something, and be honest. A really tough, new project lands on your desk. What's that first feeling in your gut? Is it pure excitement? Or is there, a little bit of hesitation? A tiny voice that worries about getting it wrong, that tells you to just stick with what you're good at? Yeah, that feeling, that fear of messing up, that's exactly what we are going to dismantle today.
Because here's the big secret, the core idea we're exploring. A mistake is not a failure. It's not a step back. It is literally the best possible time for your brain to grow and upgrade. Think of it like this. A mistake isn't a sign you're failing. It's the starting gun for your brain to build stronger, faster connections.
So, how on earth is that possible, right? Well, in this first part, we're going to break down one of the biggest traps we all fall into, the myth of talent. We're going to look at the actual science that proves your brain is so much more powerful and adaptable than you probably think.
It all starts with a concept you've likely heard of from another Stanford psychologist, Carol Dweck, and that's the idea of two basic mindsets. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset, which says, hey, you're either a math person or you're not. It's just who you are. But on the other side, you have the growth mindset. This is the belief that your real abilities, your intelligence, can be developed through hard work and smart strategies.
Now, here's where Joe Boaler really kicks it up a notch. She gives us the hard science that backs up the growth mindset, and it has a name, neuroplasticity. It sounds kind of complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. Your brain isn't a fixed object. It's more like a dynamic network of trails in a forest. The first time you learn something new, you're hacking a new path through the woods. It's slow, it's difficult, but every time you practice, you walk that path again, and it gets wider, smoother, and faster until it becomes a superhighway. That is your brain physically changing itself.
And this is where it gets really wild. Brain scans show us that the exact moment you realize you've made a mistake, your brain lights up with what Boaler calls brain sparks. We're talking about electrical activity that is way stronger than when you get an answer right the first time. Just let that sink in for a second. That feeling of struggle, of getting it wrong, that's not your brain failing. That is the biological signal that your brain is in hyper-growth mode. It's the neurological version of a muscle tearing down so it can rebuild itself even stronger.
And look, this isn't just some nice theory. We have real-world proof. To get a taxi license in London, you have to pass one of the toughest memory tests on the planet, memorizing 25,000 streets. And scientists studying these drivers found that while they were learning, their hippocampus, the part of the brain that handles memory, actually got physically bigger. This just shows it so perfectly. Your brain isn't set in stone. It's more like clay that you are constantly reshaping with your own effort.
Okay, so our brains have this incredible, limitless potential. That's great, but the real question is, how do we actually tap into it? How do we make this work for us? Let's move on and look at a really practical framework for doing just that. I'm going to give you 6 keys to unlock this power, starting right now. Boaler gives us a roadmap with 6 core strategies. This is the framework for rewiring how we approach learning, challenges, and our own performance.
Let's run through them. First, you have to truly believe in neuroplasticity. This isn't just, positive thinking. It's accepting the biological fact that your brain is designed to change. Second, you have to start embracing mistakes. See them as data, not as a judgment on you. Get curious about them. Third, you got to throw out the genius myth. The people we admire as geniuses are almost always masters of persistence and strategy, not magic. Fourth, go for depth, not speed. Getting the answer fast is way less important than thinking deeply about the problem. Slow, deep thinking is what builds those brain superhighways. Fifth, talk to people, collaborate. Trying to explain your thinking to someone else is one of the fastest ways to sharpen it. And finally, number 6, learn in multiple ways. Don't just read about it. Draw it, build a model of it, argue about it. The more connections you make, the stronger the learning.
All right, that's the framework, but what does this look like on a Monday morning when you're in a meeting or at home trying to learn a new skill? Let's get super practical with some tips you can use. Okay, for all you professionals out there, start hunting for the projects that make you just a little bit uncomfortable. That's the growth zone. In your next meeting, have the courage to offer up an immature idea. Just frame it. Hey, this might not be fully baked, but what if we tried? It sparks creativity. And find a learning partner, a colleague you can be real with about what's working and what's not. And if you're a parent or you lead a team, this part is absolutely crucial. Stop praising people for being smart. It's a dead end. Instead, praise the effort they put in, the clever strategy they used, their persistence. And when a mistake happens, treat it like a fun puzzle. Say, oh, that's interesting. What can we figure out from this? You're changing failure from something to be feared into just another part of the process.
And what about for yourself, for your own growth? I want you to set what I call a struggle goal. Pick that one thing you've always told yourself you're just not good at. Maybe it's coding or playing guitar or a new language. Commit to just 15 minutes a day. And as you go, keep a simple journal of what you're learning. But you want the ultimate hack? Teach it. Trying to explain what you've learned to someone else will lock it into your brain like nothing else.
So let's bring this all home. As we wrap up, what's the one big idea you should walk away with? It's all about changing the story you tell yourself about what you are and are not capable of. So let's recap the 3 most important things to remember. Number 1, your brain is not fixed. It is constantly changing, and you're the one in the driver's seat. That's neuroplasticity. Number 2, struggle and mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are signals of intense brain growth. Learn to welcome them. And number 3, your beliefs about your own abilities matter infinitely more than any natural talent you think you have or don't have.
I want to leave you with this one thought, which just sums it all up perfectly. Your real limit is not your ability, but your belief about your ability. The only thing that's truly holding you back might just be a label you put on yourself years ago. So I challenge you, starting today, tear that label off and embrace every single mistake as a step toward becoming the limitless person you're truly meant to be.
I really hope this breakdown has given you a new way to think about your own potential. If you found it valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. And hey, if there's a book or a big idea you want us to break down next, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Eric, and I'll see you in the next one.